Okay, but rather, this is the standard formula that they use to represent your equation of circle. And then if you look carefully, not just that, they tell you what is the center of the circle, which is AB in this case, and then the radius is R. So this formula, if you are not told of the diagram, but when they give you this, you must be able to tell me this is the x coordinate of the center. Okay, this is the y coordinate of the center. Okay, and then my radius comes from here. So for instance, if I give you a random equation, let's say x minus 3, y minus 5 equals to 25. What is the center and the radius of this circle?
Center is just A and B.
Yeah, so what is the A and B from this formula? 3 and 5. So my center of the circle must be 3, 5. What is the radius of my circle?
25.
Okay, remember it's r square, right? So it is 5. So from the formula itself, you can read center, you can read radius. Okay, and actually this is how the diagram looks like. Okay, but how come they come up with another general equation? What do you think they do? What do you think they did to this to get here? They probably expanded it. So they expanded it fully. Ashville? Very scared, right? Don't know what you do, right? Processing in your brain, right? Okay, so you expand this entire thing fully, and then this will be how it looks like. Although it's like a whole total set of different symbols, but you could actually get back here from this. So I'm going to make you think, if this is the expanded form, that means if I fully expanded it, how can I get back my radius and my center? What do you think you can do to get back to standard form?
Just checking, so isn't this just the gradient formula, but like finding the
Gradient formula.
no, like,
Oh, this one, distance formula, is it?
yeah.
Almost. Okay, but how do you think I can get this back into this form? You all have learned it before. How to factorize? Sorry, what formula? How can you all get back to the standard formula from here? Make a guess. Just try to relate back to this standard formula. How do you think you can factorize to that? Is there a method that you have learned before?
Quadratic.
From the chapter quadratic function? What? Tuakaso, no? The cross thing. Not exactly. There's another method that we have learned that always give you something square. Complete the square. So actually, right, if I rearrange this, okay, if I rearrange this, and then these two I write separately, I put the y's together, then constant not my problem, right? I just shift to the other side first. So if I try to complete the square for this one, what I will do is I will halve this number, remember? So become plus g. Okay, and then you always minus the other pair square. Remember that when you complete the square? So same thing here. This one, to complete the square, you will halve this number. Okay, and then you must minus this number square. So you will get this. So if I just tidy things up and rearrange in the form that they want, I will shift all this to the other side. Okay, so can you see how they came up with center must be this one, minus G and minus F. Okay, because this one must always be minus A, then we always take the opposite sign, right? Plus A.
Will they like ask us to find like what's the value?
There's 1 year that they asked you all to change from standard form from general form to standard form. But actually, there's another shortcut around it. I'll show you in a while. But I just need you to appreciate this so that you know if you are ever asked, you know what to do. Okay? Then this one, of course, if you take a square root, it's your radius. Right? If we are going back from that angle. So we don't like formulas like that. We don't like we don't like letters, right? So how should we approach it? So I'm going to bring you to that. Oh yeah, you want to look at this first, huh? Okay. So actually, whatever equation you are given, right? Whatever equation you are given, let's say, okay, I'm just giving any number I can think of. Y square, then probably minus 4y plus 5. Okay, example, may not even work. So let's say this is the general equation I was given. How can I get my center and radius directly? So you don't have to go through this, don't go and complete the square all the time. Actually, if you look carefully, right, from what I have here to getting here, what do you think they did? They divide by -2. Okay? So from here to here, you divide by -2. You should get your coordinates of x and y of your radius. So same thing. Go and locate the x, divide by -2. So that is your center coordinate -1. Okay, go and locate your y, the coefficient, divide by -2. You will get 2. So this is your center coordinate. Okay, how can I then find what is the radius? So radius, you look at this formula they have here, right? So radius is always equals to the opposite of this square. So that means 1 square. Okay, and then -2 square. But sometimes very confusing to remember, must opposite the sign and so on, right? So don't do this. Just straight away square the x coordinate, give me 1. Square the y coordinate, give me 4. Then you don't have to care about the sign. Because after you square, it's the same thing anyway. But if you put the original number there, I'm expecting you to put the opposite sign. That means I'm expecting you to put 1 square here and -2 square here. But if you never do that, you straight away give me the squared value, then I don't care about the sign. Okay, so when you do, make sure you do the proper thing. And then minus this coordinate you see here, square root. Okay, but in this case, my radius is 0, so nonsense, because I came out with a nonsense equation. Okay, so I'm just telling you that there is a process that you can go about in ignoring all of this. Okay, let me zoom in. I zoom, yes. For the x and the y coefficient. Correct. Okay, so okay, I'll come back to this flow chart, computational thinking flow chart, but yes, either one. Depending on the question, give you standard or general form. Okay, so first thing, I want the equation of the circle. So how should it be written? What is the equation of the circle? X minus 1, y minus 2. Get the values from here, and then equal to what square? Radius square, so 16. That's all. If you want to work very hard, you can go and expand everything, shift everything to one side, but not needed. This is good enough. Okay, same thing. What is the equation of the circle for the second one? What's the equation of the circle? Look at this. What should it be? X minus 2, y minus 8, and then you square this value 9. Okay, so this is the equation of the circle. So when I give you equation, you must be able to tell me the reverse also lah. Okay, so what is the equation of this circle? The next one. Ravan, what's the equation of part C? 2 minus x minus what? 2. Then y? y plus 1 equal to Okay, you see my eyes widen, right? My eyeball got bigger, right? Harini, try. What's the equation of the circle here? X, this one is minus 2, so must become plus 2 square, then so it's y minus 0, but nothing, right? So actually you can just put y square. Okay, and then equal to 1. Okay, so equation works like this. You just look at the center coordinate and then reverse the sign. Okay, then they say, can you find the equation of a circle with diameter AB and the coordinates of A and B are this and this?
Is it midpoint formula then?
So how to find the center from diameter? You have these 2 points, right? So one is 2, 1. The other one is 4 minus 3. And then they tell me this is the diameter. Oh, bad drawing. Okay, you know lah, you know You know the diagram should now become eclipse. Oh. Okay, so this is the diameter. So if I want the center, I use the midpoint formula. So center is my midpoint of AB. So I add the 2x coordinate, divide by 2. So what you have learned can be applied now. Okay, I add the 2y coordinate, divide by 2. So center is 3, negative 1. So my center is done. How to find radius?
Yeah, just use the same thing.
What?
The formula like the X.
What formula? I don't have radius. I have center that I can plug in, but I need radius. Divide the length by 2. So that means I go and find the length of AB and then I half it. Or you can find the length of this part directly. So length formula you have learned in E-Math. The difference of the x coordinate square. Okay, plus the difference of the y coordinate square. So this is your radius. So you are using everything that you have learned in E-Math here to help you for circles chapter. So 1, is it root 5? 1 square and 2 square. Yeah, 5. Okay, so you can leave it as a cert first because in your final equation, you will write your equation to be x minus 3 square, y plus 1 square, and then equals to r square. So it's just 5. So you don't go and round this off and then later when you square, it's not a nice number. Okay, so this is the equation that you want to find. Okay, so everything in 8.1 is nothing new. It's building on what you have learned before.
Can you post the blank one of the quiz on Google Classroom?
Can. Later I go back and do. Yes. Can you use the general equation? You can. Yeah, if you prefer. But okay, later the next section I will show you when the question is given in general form, what should you do? Okay, last one. Find the equation of the circle whose center is this and it passes through this point. So imagine a circle, not the most perfect one. Okay, and then it passes through a point 6, 2. So I already got center, I just don't have radius. So what do you think they want me to do? Find the radius, right? So you can find the radius by finding the distance between these 2 points. So again, it's your length formula. So go and difference of the 2x coordinate square, difference of the 2y coordinate square. So it's 3 square plus 6 square, which is a square root 45. Okay, leave it first because when you write the equation of the circle, you will write it as 45. Okay? Yes. The numbers I put.
So x minus 3 squared.
Yes.
Then the 3 is the x coordinate of
The 3 is the x coordinate of the center. This one is the negative 4 is the y coordinate of the center. Yeah. Okay? So when you are given center and radius, you can give equation. Missing either one, you have to find. Okay? So this is the baseline. So now the opposite. I give you equation, you give me center and radius. So if you look at question 4, the first one, Skylar, what's the radius and what's the center? Square root 10, right? So if it is a cert that cannot simplify, you can leave it like that. That means simplest form already. But if you want to give me 3SF, also can. So if you give me 3SF, it's 3.16. But if you give me square root 10, it's acceptable because this is A math. Cert must be simplified to the simplest form can already. What's the center? What's the center from here? 1 and 2. Okay, read from the equation. Okay, Jia En, can you tell me what is the center and the radius? What? What is the center? 10, 12? From here, right? From here. What is it? What's the sign? What is your x coordinate of your x your center? How? What did she say? No, I want the center. And? Okay, so radius is? Square root 15. Okay, make sure you bring this over, simplify first before you take a square root. So square root 15 cannot simplify already. You can either leave like that or you give me 3.87. Okay, units. Okay, Ashriel, what is the center and radius?
4, 13. 4, negative.
Okay, negative 13. Then what's the radius?
Square root 40 over 9.
Okay, square root 40 over 9. So if you want to do certs, then you need to give me like that. Okay, if not, then you give me the 3SF. So it's 2.11. So cert must be in its simplest form. If not, give me 3SF. Okay, last one, part D.
0, 0.
Oh, so fast. Okay, Raj, what is it?
0, 0.
0, 0.
And then radius is square root 36.
Which is?
6.
Okay, so if there's nothing there, it just means it's 0 lah. Okay, so 2 direction, make sure you know how to write the equation. This one, as final answer cannot because it's not simplified. You have to break it into its simplest form. So like for example like that, 4, 10, 9, then you give me 2 root 10, 3. Yeah, okay? Okay, yes. Yes, so actually this one is x minus 0 square, y minus 0 square. So that's why the center is 0, 0. Okay, so this one is the baseline. Okay, what if I give you the other form? Okay, this one just now I show you all right how to use complete the square. This one is just for fun. Rearrange the y square together, right? So to complete the square for this one, I will have the negative 4 and then minus this thing square. So this one complete the square. I will have the 6. Oops. Forgot. So remember completing the square, we always do this. You need to add 0 pair. So it must always be half of this number. So this 3, you can combine it into this. And then this one, you'll be left with this. So what I'm doing here, is your completed square method. Fast forward. Okay, so this one then of course I have a 3 square that I need to subtract off. So with that, if you change it accordingly, just leave the squares here. I will have 12 plus the 4 plus the 9, and then I will have a 25 here. So with this, you can straight away get your radius and center. So this one will tell me, oh, center must be 2, -3. Radius must be 5. So from this form, if you change to standard form, you can get center and radius. But just now I told you the shortcut already. You can also find the center by dividing this number by -2. -2. So center is 2 and -3. Same. It's the shortcut. If you do the, yeah, of course, because they just give you 1 mark for center, 2 mark for radius. So you give me the center, no matter how you got it, I will give you credit if it's correct.
And radius is
So
12.
how you get it, it doesn't matter.
Is radius 12?
Radius is not 12. Remember just now we said radius, there's a formula, right? You square this. So you give me 4 directly. You square this, you give me 9 directly. And then you minus the C value you see here. So minus -12.
For the we can write it as 25, right? Not write it as I squared, because the question said express it as R squared. So do we write 25 as?
We will write 25. We always simplify. Yeah. Okay. So this one is 25. No, I must square root. So it's 5 units. Okay. So that's how you find the answer from general form. Divide by -2 and then follow the formula here. Can? So here, now we will use this same method. How to get center from this equation. Helen, try. Look at the coefficient and then you divide by 2. Divide by -2. So what is the x and what is the y? What is the x and what is the y? 2 and? Okay, what is the radius? How will you calculate? 4 plus 9, right? Okay, then minus what?
It's the same thing.
Minus -12. Okay, so you also get 5 here. Okay, so remember you can get it directly from general form as well. Okay, now the key thing is this. Before you can find the answer, so far all the general formula has coefficient 1. So if it's not 1, you cannot straight away divide by -2. So first simplify the equation by dividing by 16 throughout first. So you get x squared y squared minus 2x, no y, okay, and then plus 1/16. So change your equation to this first before you find center, before you find radius. Yes. We will become like that, not nice number fractions. Yeah. Okay, why so? Because remember when you complete the square, coefficient always needs to be 1. So it's the same thing here. Okay, so from here, if I want to find center, I will look for my x, divide by -2. So that's a 1. I will look for my y, even though it don't exist, so you know it's just 0. Okay, then how to find radius? You square the x coordinate, square the y coordinate, and then you minus the c coordinate you see here. So take a square root. Okay, so it's clearly not a very nice number. So if you want, you can give me like this, or you can press calculator.
Can the coefficient of x square and y square be different?
Which one?
And coefficient of x
No,
squared.
it will always be the same. Always 1.
It won't be different.
Won't. Okay? So either case. Okay, just a quick one. Amishi, can you give me the center for this equation? Look at the x and the y. -1 and 2. What is the radius? How will you calculate? What is it? 4. Okay, minus. Okay. So that will give you a very nice 2 units. Okay? So just go to the equation, look for the coefficient of x, look for the coefficient of y, and then you divide by -2. So in this case, what is it? Become 3/4, huh? Yeah, 3/4. Okay, and then -1. So when you find radius, you square this value 9/16, square this value 1, and then minus the half, and then you take a square root. So a good practice would be to evaluate what is in the bracket first before you square root. So you end up having this. So if you want, you can leave it in surd form like that, or you can give me 3SF. Okay, actually you are strongly recommended to leave it like that lah. Because when they ask for the equation, you can always square it and get a perfect number. Yes.
Can we leave it as like 1, then bracket, then square root 1/16?
1/16? Which one? This one?
The 17/16.
Yeah, why?
Can we make it mixed up? But then,
No, but you need to split and simplify, remember? So this one gives you a 4. Then you leave it like that. So must be simplified. Okay, question 6. Oh, time's up already, right? Okay, question 6, just very quickly, what's the center? Divide by -2, so it's a minus g. This one will be 3. So how to find radius? We will square this, minus the c. So become plus 12 with a square root. And they tell me this thing is equal to 5. So you just solve accordingly. So square both sides. Okay, so this is 4. So g is plus minus 2. Okay, they gave you a hint. There is values. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to assign homework for this part. You can continue catching up on your PMP. Then I think we can start preparing revision for the next quiz for log. You will prove that the distance between the point and center is less than radius. So if it's less than radius, then the point is inside circle. Okay, so for instance, the point that is inside circle is this one, right? So if you go and find the distance between these 2 points, okay, and then you take a square root, you will prove that it's less than r. Therefore, it's inside the circle. Okay, so this one is just general formula we can write, but
Wait, for this, we must know what R is, right?
we must know what r is, yes.
and we just find through the equation.
Correct. So when the point is on the circle,
It must be equal to R.
correct. So when you find the distance between the 2 points,
Wait, so they 2 here.
1. Then it's on the circle itself. Okay, can. Okay, correct name, huh? Okay, part 3 is if the point is outside of the circle, which is this one. When you find the distance, it will be greater than r. So just these 3 scenarios. So whenever the question asks you to determine whether that point is inside, outside, or on the circle, you go and find the distance. Okay? So this is just for your info. So if you look at question 7, how do I approach this question? I'm given the equation of the circle. I know from here that the center is what? What is the center here of this circle? What's the center of this circle?
15,
15, 3. What is the radius?
7.
Just 7. So from this equation, I know this is my center, this is my radius. So I want to determine this point, whether it's inside, outside. So what do? I want to determine if this point is outside or inside the circle. What do? Find distance. So I find distance, okay, between this point, okay, and center. So it will be square root difference of the x coordinate. So 15 minus 12 square, and then difference of the y coordinate, 3 minus 1 square. So you go and calculate, you will get 9 and 4. Huh? So square root 13. Is square root 13 more than 7 or less than 7? .6 something. So clearly less than 7. So therefore this point is inside the circle.
In your right hole.
Okay, as long as you show the working proof to me and say it's inside, you get the marks. Okay, same thing the other point. If you want to find for 15 and negative 4, so do the same thing, difference of the x coordinate square, difference of the y coordinate square. Oh, it's just 7. Exactly 7, right? I think so, yeah. So if it's exactly equals to r, then you can conclude it just lies on the circle.
What if it's like off by a decimal?
Off also is not. Must be exactly. So this is the point.
If rounding off makes it 7, but it's 7.001, is it still considered inside?
Outside. So if I'm slightly off 7.001 something, I'm still outside of the circle. So it must be exactly 7 to be on the circle. Yeah. Oh no, I just repeat, lazy to write. Okay, like copy. Okay, what about question 8? What is the center and the radius here? What is the center of this equation?
1 and negative 3.
Divide by negative 2, so 1. Divide by negative 2, so negative 3. What is the radius? How to calculate? Square. Okay, plus this square minus the c here. Okay, so you end up having 6. 54 plus 1 plus 9. Oh, so it's exactly 8. So the radius is 8 units. So to find out whether that point is inside or outside, I will first find the distance between this point and center. Okay, if you don't want to write so much, you just write distance lah, okay? So distance, the difference of the x coordinate square plus the difference of the y coordinate square. So 13 square plus 4. 173. So that's a 13.153, which is greater than 8. So since you know it's greater, therefore this point lies outside the circle. Yes. EMF circles, we learn about angle properties. So don't really have calculation. Yeah. Okay. So 8.1 is just this. If I give you standard form, you must be able to read the center and radius. Okay. So if it's here, this one. I give you the standard form, you must be able to tell me center and radius. If I give you the general form, you must be able to tell me center and radius. So usually center 1 mark. Radius, they give 2 marks because 1 mark for the calculation here. So this one, make sure you put in the right values. Okay, and then of course there's one part where they can ask you whether the point lie inside, outside or on.
To summarize, right, is you find the radius, you find the center, and then you take the point and then the distance from the point to the
Center. Yeah.
And then if it's more than radius, it's out. If it's less than radius.
Yes.
For question 8, is there a need to compute?
For question 8, no need. Yeah, cause I can already find the center and the radius, so no need.
So we just take the center from the equation, then we just minus find the distance.
Correct. Correct. So 8.1 just like that. So knowing how to identify the center radius, or if I give you center radius, you give me the equation. Okay, that's the standard kind of question you will see. Let's go deeper.
Can we take a small break?
You only have one period you want to take. Happen to have 2 tangent lines to your circle. Later I'll prove to you by example. You know that these 2 are radius, right? So your center coordinate, the x and the y will be exactly the same value. That means if let's say this is 3, then this will be 3, 3 as well. They are equidistant from each other. The center coordinate, the x and the y must be equal. So that is the understanding you need to get. Yes.
What is like the units of because like the x-axis is 1 unit per centimeter, then the y-axis.
Oh, then you will just, but the on the grid cannot look like that because it will become an ellipse.
Yeah, circle cannot be.
Yeah, but circle, if according to the correct grid, right, it will still be the same. The radius must be the same. If not, it will become like that, the ellipse. Right, that will be funny. Okay, so let's look at this one. Okay, first thing, I have a center which is at 3 minus 2 and it touches the x-axis. So what does this tell you? Okay, how can I find the equation of the circle? I need 2 things, right? I already have the center, which is 3 and negative 2. But what is the radius? What is the radius?
Wait, isn't it just because r equal to...
This is the x-axis, you know.
R equal to 2.
So this one is 3. Oh, no. How can that be my x-axis when the circle is above? 3.
Wait, Miss Wrong. Is it r equal to 2?
The drawing is wrong. No, it should be like that. Cause it's minus 2. How can we not notice? Okay, for the longest year.
It be r equal to 2.
Yes. Okay, so good observation. So if let's say this is my circle touches the x-axis here, right? What is the radius of this circle? This is 3, this is minus 2, right? But the unit for this, For radius, it's just 2. Okay, it's just 2. So you just read the distance directly. Don't even need to use formula. Just from the diagram itself, visualize. So, but the thing is this, in exam, we will not be so kind. We won't draw the diagram for you. So when we tell you it touches the x-axis, you must visualize or you draw to help yourself see that the radius is this. So radius in this case is 2 without you doing any working because you have a tangent line. So with that, how can I find the equation of the circle?
You already have the center
Oh,
and
you have the
radius.
R, so then we just
So x minus 3 square, y plus 2 square equal to 4. Okay? Because we must always r square ma. Right, equals to r square. Okay, next one, let's look at 2. Okay, next one Can? Okay. Oh. This one. Show that the y-axis touches the circle at this point. So first thing first, what can I get from this equation?
The center.
Okay, so what is the center? 1 and 3 because I divide by negative 2 for both. Okay, what is the radius?
Negative.
Plus 9.
Summarize.
Minus 9.
We just find the radius, and then if the radius is same from the y-axis,
It does not touch the
then we
y-axis.
just say so.
Yeah, can.
So it doesn't
So
touch the
here is my 1, 3. If my radius is 1 unit away, and if your y-axis is just touching the circle being a tangent, what does it say about this?
Miss Wong, does that mean that we have
Why time's up, huh? Why you all look at me
No,
like...
no, keep going. Take it.
Wait, Miss Wong, so we just 1 minus 1 equals 0 plus y.
Correct. So here you are right. Since radius it's 1 unit, okay, therefore you can let this point let this point be A. So point A is 1 unit, okay, away from the center. Therefore, A has coordinate 0, 3, okay, which lies on the y-axis. So shown. That's all. Okay, because if it is not 0, you'll be stranding somewhere here. Then you cannot lie on the y-axis.
Is this like a type of question they might ask?
Yes, it's just one part of it. It's not the whole question, but it's just one part of it.
So this is how we answer.
Yes, one part only. Okay, if you want to be specific in the x direction. Okay, the y coordinates are the same. Okay, what if I go one level up and I ask you to prove that the y-axis is a tangent to the circle? What do you think you will do? What do you think you will do? Okay, if I ask you to prove tangent, go and find the gradient between the point A and the center. Okay, prove that it is equal to 0. Then your y-axis must be a tangent to this circle.
What's the difference between circle and this one? Oh, this is obviously a base.
Okay, therefore y-axis is a tangent to the center. Okay, to the center, to the circle. Okay, but this one we won't ask you now because you haven't learned circle properties. You don't know that this will be perpendicular yet. Okay, but when you learn circle properties, you will know. Yes. When this is equal to 0, okay, then this will be perpendicular to it because y-axis is always vertical. So when you can prove that they are perpendicular to each other, it's a tangent line. This one now you don't know yet, but I'm just telling you so that when we learn circle properties, we can bridge this one back. Then I'll say, I tell you all before, right? Hope you can still remember by then. Circle properties will be in end of year exam. Either circle properties or arc length. So we haven't decided on that. Yeah.
This one is agenda or logs are very key component in the
Key component. It's a big chapter. What's the chapter before this? Okay, binomial is also not a very big part. Also quite equally between log and binomial. Because the people haven't come to me yet. Okay, wait. Continue this one. P and Q, they lie on a circle and they are diameter. So I just anyhow, P, Q. So, minus 5, 8, 1 and negative 2. So, how can I find equation of the circle? 2 steps. How to find equation of circle? Which one? Yeah. I just anyhow. But how do I find equation of the circle? I need the radius. I need the center. So how to find this center? Midpoint. So go and find midpoint of PQ by adding the 2x coordinate divided by 2. Raj, you focusing?
Wait, this one.
Is that focusing?
Is that supposed to be the diameter?
Yes. So I will get 2, 3. So this is 2, 3. So how can I find radius? Distance between who and who? The midpoint and Q. So difference between the x coordinate square, difference between the y coordinate square. So 25 square root 26. Okay, I leave it like that first because my final equation, I can write it straight away without the square root. So just like that. Okay? So,
If they never mention it's the diameter, can we assume it's the diameter or cannot assume?
cannot. Yeah. Oh, then this is plus. Okay? Then they say, what if this circle, no, the line meets the curve at point Q. Then they ask you to explain why is it the tangent. Okay, is my time up?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So tomorrow bring this. We'll finish up the 3 questions. Okay, and then we'll have a log quiz. Wait, we have a log quiz. Okay, and then wait, one more thing I want to say. What is it?
When is the log quiz?
Tomorrow. By dividing the coefficient of x and y by negative 2. So my center is negative 3 and 1. So here. Okay, next, I want to find radius. So radius, I square this, minus the c here with a square root. Okay, don't be tricked. Sometimes the c is on this side. Bring it over. Okay, use the c on this side. And then you get a square root 5. So this is my radius. So I know that radius is root 5. So next, it says that I want to find the 2 tangent lines. Okay, the equation of the 2 tangent lines which are parallel to this line. So when they say parallel, what are they telling you? Equal what? Same gradient. So I need to go and find the gradient of this line first. So I rearrange my equation. So the gradient of this line is -2. So I need to find the two tangent line with gradient -2. So that means these two are the tangent line I want. And I want to find the equation of these two lines. But before I can do that, I need a point on the line. Yes.
Spotted mistake.
Where?
Can I get wait, do I get it? Do I get dropped?
So if no, don't say, is it? Then live with the error lah, it's
No,
okay.
okay, fine. The editor.
Where?
Bottom left. Editor.
Grammar is fine. Okay, let's look at how to find the equation of these two red line. I need these 2 points. Then I can find the line. But I know that these two equation has the line y equals to mx plus c. I just don't know what that c could be. So what do you think I can do to help myself find the c?
Radius. Use the formula find radius.
Use the formula find radius.
Oh, never mind.
Sub what to what?
Sub y equals -2x minus 3 into the x squared plus y squared.
Into the equation. So that I can find the possible x solution. So first thing first, I'm going to sub 1 into 2. So when I see y, I change to this. Y squared 6x 2y plus 5. Okay, so I go and expand. Okay, looks very scary. Okay, then I simplify.
So it's just someone in.
Correct. Okay, so I end up getting here. What do you think I can do? What kind of equation is this? This is a quadratic. Can we link it to a topic that has tangent? No? Discriminant. So if I can solve this by finding discriminant equals to 0, I can find the tangent line. Yes. Y equals to mx plus c. I don't know the c. Yes, I only have the m, so I put in this first. Okay? So I go and do a discriminant. B squared minus 4ac. Okay? And then after I expand everything out, I will be left with this. Yes. Sorry? Okay, shh. Okay, listen Do you all remember when you have a linear and a non-linear equation, when you sub them together and you want to solve it, you need to see whether you have 2 points of intersection, 1 point of intersection or no intersection. So this is the case where we have a tangent line. So tangent line has one solution only. So when we try to sub one linear into non-linear, whether it's a circle, it's a curve or what, it's a non-linear. So once you created that quadratic, you can use discriminant to help you find how many solutions you have. But I already know I should have tangent, so one solution. That's why discriminant equals to 0. Yes.
We will have
Why do we need? Oh, we need to solve for the c, then we can move on. Yes.
we will have 4 like things right after the x, the 2x.
Only 2 c's because it's a square.
Oh.
So 4c squared, it's... Oh no, I should factorize, right?
So it's negative discriminant.
No, discriminant is 0. Because tangent means discriminant equals to 0. For WA3, not deliberately, definitely.
So basically, Miss Huang, whatever we learned is just a base for what we're gonna learn.
Yes. Yeah.
Where's equation 2? I'm really confused. Equation 2 is the big one.
Okay, so C can be 0 or C can be minus 10. Yes. Why do we? Because then I can know what is these two equation. That's my purpose of this question. It's not given. They only tell me it's parallel. They never tell me cut where. Yeah. Can. So this tells me that my equation is y equals to mx plus 0. This one tells me that this is y equals to mx minus 10. So I have two equations. One here. Then the other one here.
So the answers are y equals minus 2x and y equals
Correct. So these are the two equations I'm trying to solve. Yes. Can. Shh. Raj.
She's accusing my law.
Accusing?
Yeah.
This is like my son and my daughter telling me to beat each other up.
He's just biased and evil. He's biased and evil. That's genuinely the solution.
There's 30 cents.
I just throw away 2 butter strip at home because it's collecting dust.
She just give it to them.
It's like so dirty. That one is like can make into a sticker.
Which one? So to recap, this one, to
Yeah.
recap everything. So the question told you like it's parallel, right?
Yes.
So after that, it's just like you find the gradient because the gradient will be the same.
I know the gradient is yeah, correct, minus 2.
So since the gradient is minus 2, you just use y equals to mx and solve for the circle equation.
Correct.
Then after that, you solve for the c, then you sub the c back to the y.
To get the 2 equation. Okay, shh. That 3 has to be north, south, east, west.
That two.
Which 2? Okay, so this one done. Okay, next one. These are the tougher question for this chapter. Okay, will you expect a tougher question in this chapter? Yes, 1. Okay, there will be one that requires you to find equation of tangent line. But at the front part, there will be given center, radius, ask you to find. Yes.
After this, we are finishing this topic, right?
Soon.
Yeah, then after this will be
Linear law.
And then after
Then we will go back to E-math applications of trigo.
Is the rare?
Are these the?
Are these the rare question?
What is lel?
rare.
Rare or rare? Not very rare. You will have. Okay. Shh. Yeah, so distracting.
Judge!
Huh?
Judge, shut up!
Oh, okay. Shh. One warning. Next warning is 3 of you take your table, sit at the corner there. You are not doing anything means you are not stopping them also.
Guys, focus, pay attention.
Okay, ready?
So
Quickly. 3 questions we cannot finish in one period. It's quite. Yes, can. Okay, this one I skip. You all can expand on your own. I skip some steps. Done? What's the point of actually no need, but it's just a habit to complete finding all. Have. But you need to form 2 equations, solve simultaneous and solve. So this is the quickest way.
will this be like 4 marks?
Yes. Easily 4 marks or even 5. Okay, I move on. See? Lag behind, that's why.
Marius, can I highlight your notes?
Okay, this one. Oh, still not yet. Okay, this one. It says the positive x-axis and y-axis. Okay, the positive x. Okay, why is it?
Does it matter if it's positive?
It does. Like this is the positive x-axis, this is the positive y. So that means they are telling me that my circle lies here and they are tangents to my circle. So if this is my radius, if this is my center, what does it tell me about the coordinates of center?
It's positive.
Not just that, I have more than that. What does this tell me about my center?
Center is positive.
Not just positive, I know even more than that.
Tangents are x.
It's not negative.
They are the same. So they are equal. Okay, more than that, why? This is my x coordinate. This is my y coordinate of my center. What is so special about them? Other than they are equal, what else?
They're like tangents.
They are my what?
Y and x.
Radius. So actually my center happens to be my radius and they are equal. So this is the key thing. Okay. Yes, x and y axis. Okay, so this is part 1. You will tell me that the x and y coordinates are equal. And equals to r, your radius. So this is what you know. Okay, next. They say I have a tangent line that is a tangent to the circle at the point 98. So given that the center C lies below and to the left of 98. So let's say 98 is somewhere here. Okay, and my center lies to the left and below of this point. So it's somewhere there lah. So that's why I guess that my 98 is somewhere there. I don't know exactly where, but I just drafted a point there. Okay, so now I want to find the equation of the tangent line later. This is the T that I want to find later. Okay, but before all of that, I want to first find the equation of C. How can I do that? Equation is the C is the circle. How can I find equation of circle?
They give you the x minus a or is it give
You have to give me your x minus a square, y minus b square equals to r square. Okay, so if I just use equation of circle formula. I know that my center is r. Right? The x and the y are both r. My radius is r. So instead of x and y, they gave me a specific point that lies on the circle. So I can just put in as 98. So my x is 9, my y is 8. I put in this as my equation first. So now what I need to do is to simplify it. So if you expand everything fully out,
9 minus r also supposed to be squared.
yes, also square. Okay, so after you expand everything out, you will arrive at this equation, which you can factorize as these two. So r is either 5 or r is 29. So what do you think? Should r be 5 or r be 29? Why not 29? It needs to be to the left and below point 98. So this one I have to reject. So this is my radius. So with my radius, I know my center, I know my radius. I can find the actual equation. X minus 5 square y minus 5 square equals to 25. So this is my actual equation of C. So after you solve for R, okay, you can find the equation now. Because it tells me that my center must be 5, 5. My radius is also 5. What happened to Shu Huai? He like...
Every teacher asking that.
Yeah, very long already, right? Okay, next. I want to find the equation of this tangent line. Yes. Which one? Oh, because I need my center to lie below and to the left of 9, 8. So in order to be below and to the left, it must be 5. It cannot be 29. 29 is somewhere here. Yeah. Okay? Yes. Because it is a point on the circle. Then it can help me solve for R.
But this can only be to the left. Yeah, left and down.
Okay?
And 29 is up.
Yeah.
So 9 minus R and 8 minus R is the center.
This one, you remember the equation of circle is x minus a square plus y minus b square equals to r square. Center is your AB. This is a point on the circle which I know is 9, 8. Can
As long as it's on the...
You can sub in.
Wait, but Miss Huang, why are they both R?
Because if these two are my tangent line, my axis, it means my radius will be the x and the y coordinate of center.
Oh, because it says X and Y.
Equidistant. Okay, last one. To find the equation of that blue line, I already have one point on the line. I need gradient of that line. How to find? Yeah, how to find gradient of that blue line?
Can't you use the center point?
Center point, why?
Because you already know the coordinates of the center point.
Okay, so what can I do?
9 minus 5.
So remember, tangent is always perpendicular to the radius. So what you can do is go and find the gradient of the center to the point 9, 8. So I need to find the distance, not distance, the gradient between 5, 5 and 9, 8.
Yeah. Then it's 9 minus 5, 8 minus 1, right?
So I get 3/4. So what is the gradient of the tangent line then?
3, 4.
Remember negative reciprocal?
Oh, then it's minus 4.
M is gradient. Minus 4 over 3. So remember, reverse the sign, flip. Then you get the gradient of the blue line. So with the gradient, with the 0.98, I can find the equation of T. Because remember, M1, M2, it's negative 1. So if I want to find the other gradient, it's negative 1 divided by my first gradient. So negative 1 divided by this will give you this.
Oh, because I remember the
Perpendicular line, yes. This one is perpendicular line property. Okay, so equation of T would then be y minus the 8 equal to gradient x minus the x. So you go and expand everything out, you will end up having this as your equation.
This one.
Yes.
When are we gonna learn the, what's it called? Trigo the equation.
After applications of Trigo, EMAF.
Why x minus 1? Where did x come from? Equation of E. Means
Y equals MX.
where did the x come from?
This one.
Is Y equals MX?
Yeah, we remember our formula for equation. This one. So this is the small x and small y.
This one.
Yeah.
Can you do like, do you have a video where you just like go through, you don't write anything down, but you just go through the questions like very fast. What are the steps to do this without writing?
Got the record. Okay. Okay, so let's say this is my center, minus 3, 2. And then radius is 5. Let's say the point -7, -1 is here. They want you to find the tangent line here, the equation of this tangent line. So to help you find it, no matter what, a straight line, you always need gradient and a point. So the point P is known to you already, no problem. What you need is the gradient of the red line. So always remember that tangent is perpendicular to radius. So in order for you to find the gradient of the red line, go and find the gradient of that tangent line, the gradient of the radius line first. So gradient
That's the reciprocal.
is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you will get 3/4. So this is gradient of that blue line. So in order to find gradient of your tangent line, you need to reverse the sign and flip this. So you get -4/3. The reason why is because of this. M1, M2 is -1. Okay? So once you found tangent, you have the point on the line. Finding equation shouldn't be a problem. So we use the formula big Y minus small y, gradient, big X minus small x, okay? So you end up having this as your equation. Okay? So always tell yourself, if you want to find equation, what is the thing that you need to have? So equation means you need gradient and you need a point on the line. So with that, you can find the equation. So this one, no problem. Yes? Can. If you prefer, oh yeah, we need to prove that, right? So to prove this, you just multiply by 3 throughout. And then shift everything to one side. Okay, so it's just very lengthy, very long-winded, but the concept is everything you have learned before in coordinate geometry. So no tricks, no traps. Okay, next, same diagram. My center is this. My radius is 5. My point P is here, which is -7, -11. And they tell me that I have another point Q. Oops. Okay, I have another point Q that is on the circle and it's the same distance from the y-axis as point P. Oops. Okay, so I need to locate my y-axis. So assuming that my y-axis is here. So the distance from this point to my y-axis is 7 units away. So it's suggesting that I have another point Q on the circle that is 7 units away. So you just shift your ruler. You know that the other point should be somewhere here. Oops. Oops. Which is also 7 units away. Okay, 7 units away. Why can't my circle, why can't the other point Q be here, also 7 units away? Then it wouldn't be on the circle. So it has to be here, that other point. Okay, so that means this tells me that my Q must also be -7 for the x-axis. I just don't know what's my y, which I can find easily because...
But then it won't be a tangent.
Won't be a tangent?
Because like,
No, I want another tangent from this part. Just now my tangent line is here. So there are 2 different tangent lines. Okay, so in order for me to get the equation of tangent, I need the point, I need the gradient. So to find the point, I need to first sub in this Q into the equation of the circle. So I will sub Q into my equation of circle, which is given by, wait, I cannot see if I change the direction. Okay, so x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 4y minus 12 equals 0. So I'm going to sub my x in as minus 7. Okay, and then sub my y in as just y. Just leave it there. So this is 49 y squared minus 42 minus 4y minus 12 equals to 0. So it ends up being a quadratic. So if you simplify it sufficiently, you will end up having y squared minus 4y minus 5. Okay, which you can factorize it as 5 or minus 1. So minus 1 is taken already, not applicable, because minus 1 is this point P. I don't want that. So this is the other point I want. So I can conclude that Q must be minus 7, 5. So I know the point already. Now what I need is the gradient of the blue line. Yes. You can reject. You can say not applicable also. Okay. So once you are done with Q, then you need to find the gradient of this line, which you can go and find the gradient of this line first. So same thing. Gradient of that green line is center y2 minus y1. This one is 5, right? Okay, and then x2 minus x1. Okay, you end up having a negative 3/4. So gradient of the tangent line will be negative of this, and then you flip. So it's 4 out of 3. So with the gradient, with the point Q, you can find equation. So same thing, same formula, big Y minus the small x, small y value, gradient, big X minus the small x value. Okay. Okay, so this is your equation. Okay, let me zoom in. Uh, 43. Okay. So of course, if you want to make it neat, you can multiply 3 throughout and give me this. So this is the answer to part 3. Can. Okay, the last part they say that actually these two tangent lines meet at an external point R. So it's just solving simultaneous equation. Okay, so from the two equations that you have found, just now earlier on you had this equation, right? Which is 3y plus 4x plus 31 equals to 0. Okay, so we call this equation 1. And then you have just found this equation to be 3y equals to 4x plus 43. So let's call this equation 2. So just sub the second equation into the first one, then you can find x to be minus 37 over 4 and your y should be 2. So this is your R coordinate. So can I leave you to do your calculation? Yes. You can equate them. One is minus, one is plus. You just replace the 3y value with this. That means replace this with this. Then you can solve for x already. Okay, so R I write bigger. R, you should get minus 37 over 4, comma 2. So this is part 4's answer. Okay? To where? The whole thing. But then can see or not? Yep. When it's exactly equal, let's say y equals to something, then equate them together. Okay, so that is 8.2. Is it the y value? Why? Why you got minus 8? Did I count and calculate anything wrongly? Minus 43. So 4x plus 43 is equal to, no, plus 4x plus 31 equals to 0. So 8x equals to minus 74. Oh, because it's minus 2. Correct. X is minus 74 divided by 8. So you get this, right? Then you sub x as this into equation 1, for example. So 3y plus 4 times this plus 31 is 0. So this one is minus 6. So 3y is 6, y is 2. Yeah, 31. Okay, can? The PMP or even all? What? You have given your logarithm, so it gives you room to do more, right? Well done. So all? Do the spin, Ken. Sorry?
Which page?
PMP is page 3 and 4. So there's a total of 9 questions. Odd, even, or all. How do I get the R? No, because R is the intersection of these two. They say the tangent line meet at R. So I solve the simultaneous of these two equations. Yes.
Yeah, can I just like say what I see for? So basically, it's just a circle. And then there are a bunch of points.
A bunch of points, okay.
And then you use coordinate geometry to find the radius and the coordinates.
Yes.
Radius.
Then from the equation, right, you need to know how to find center and radius. That's how you get. Okay, later when I do a recap, you catch. If not, you watch the video, okay? Why does spinner take so long? Okay, I shall create my own. You taking? No. A point, 2 points meeting. 1 point meeting. No. 2 lines meeting at the external point R. So actually, it creates 2 congruent triangles here. So this triangle is congruent to this triangle. So as long as the 2 tangent lines meet at the external point, these 2 triangles are exactly equal to each other. So this property, remember we have called it the, okay, 2 things you need to know is what is the meaning of perpendicular bisector. When you have a perpendicular bisector, it is perpendicular to the line and then it bisects it into half. So when I say I have a perpendicular bisector, it always cuts your chord at the midpoint here. Here. Okay, take note, any line segment that joins 2 points on the circle is called a chord, not your musical chord. So any line segment that joins 2 points on the circle is called a chord. So what is the longest chord in a circle? The diameter. So if you have 2 points that passes through the center, you know that chord is your diameter. Okay, but any others, such as C and D, for example, this is a chord. So if I have a perpendicular bisector, that is perpendicular to this line and cuts it into you. Okay, and cuts it into half. The magical thing about it is that it will always pass through the center of the circle. So the highlight is this one. The highlight is it passes through the center of the circle. Okay, this is very important because as long as we have this line and another given line, we can find the center of the circle. So they are dragging the story further and further from the endpoint. So they want you to find center in a difficult way. Okay, by using perpendicular bisector. So this is another way that, you know, mathematicians like to challenge you. Okay, anyway, this other property we have spoken about it. Tangent is always perpendicular to radius. So this one, tangent is always perpendicular to radius. Another one is if two tangent lines meet at the external point R just now. Okay, remember two tangent lines meet at the external point. Actually, it creates two congruent triangles. So this triangle is exactly congruent to this triangle. So this is very powerful because it tells me that these two sides are equal length. These two angles are exactly the same. These two angles are exactly the same as well.
But Miss Mom, doesn't that mean that the tangent has to be at the same point?
The tangent at different point, but as long as you extend the line to meet at the external point, it creates two congruent triangles. So just now, tangent from exterior point. Did they write here? Okay, they never. Because in circle properties, you will learn this officially. This is tangent from exterior point. Okay, this exterior point is where the two tangent meets. Okay, so in chapter 10 of E-Math, you will learn these two properties officially. But in A-Math, we just bring it in so that it will help you understand this part. Okay, so any tangent line will always be perpendicular to radius. Okay, tangent from exterior point creates two congruent triangles. And lastly, your perpendicular bisector of any chord that you have on the circle will always pass through center. So the highlight is pass through center. Okay, so this is all the theory you need for 8.3. Okay, the very last part. Okay, so I just going to bring you through the flow chart. Remember, this is my chord. Let's say this is my chord. Okay, I know my time is up soon. So this is my chord AB. And I have a perpendicular bisector, which is 90 degrees to this and cuts this into half. Okay, so this perpendicular bisector, if I want to find the equation, what do you think I need? What do you think I will need to find the equation of this blue line? Equation of blue line always need two things. What is it? Gradient.
Any point on
Okay, and then one point on the line, right? Which happens to be the midpoint of AB. So this midpoint AB. So the gradient of the line is always gradient of the perpendicular bisector. Okay, so the process, you know, you will be finding gradient y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Okay, you'll be finding midpoint, adding the 2x coordinate divided by 2, adding the 2y coordinate divided by 2. Okay, and then finding equation big Y minus small y, gradient big X minus small x. So the process you require finding these three. Okay, then of course using this equation. So your output will be the equation of perpendicular bisector. Okay, so tomorrow we will explore a bit deeper how to find this line. But the crux is this, if I give you the circle, but I don't give you the center, I give you 2 points lying on the center, or on the circle. So first step you need to do is to go and find that tiny midpoint here. Okay, the tiny midpoint. Second step is go and find gradient of the line AB, which you can find the gradient of the perpendicular bisector. So with that, finding the equation of this line, no problem. But the question will always give you another line that pass through the center. So the ultimate goal, 6 marks for this. 6 marks for this. Okay, you find the equation of the perpendicular bisector and solve simultaneous with the other line they give you to get the center. How to get the radius? How to get the radius? It's the distance between this point and this point, or distance between this point and this point. So can you see how the question will piece together? All they give you is 2 points on the circle, but you can find the blue line. They give you the red line, you solve simultaneous, find the center, find the radius, and then equation of circle. So this thing, one part is 6 marks. Okay? Then they can ask you other things. So this is a crucial thing, okay, but it actually asks you to find the equation of the circle. But in order to find the equation of the circle, you need to first find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Because to get here, you need center and radius. To get center and radius, you actually need to have the perpendicular bisector line to find the intersection between the two lines. So that's why actually these are the flow chart that is happening in your mind. So you are better than a computer. Okay, technically. So here, okay, so what are the steps that went through your mind if your purpose is to find the equation of circle? So what's the first step? If you are given 2 points, given 2 points on the circle and a line that passes through center of the circle. So imagine I give you a question, I give you 2 points on the circle, and then I give you another equation of another line that pass through the center of the circle. Then I say, can you give me the equation of the circle? What are the steps that goes through your mind? First, I need to find the midpoint of AB. So after I find the midpoint of AB, which is here, what is the next step I need to find? What is the next step that I need to carry out? Gradient. So second, I need to find the gradient of the line AB, because this will help me find the gradient of the perpendicular bisector. Okay, using M1, M2 equals to -1. So if I find the gradient of this perpendicular bisector, I have the point, I have the gradient. What can I find now? Equation of that green line. Okay, then what's next? So there's a few steps, that's why it's easily 6 or 7 marks. What's the next step? What? Find the center of the circle. How? How can I get the center of the circle? Solve simultaneous equation. Okay, that means what you're trying to do is to find the point of intersection, okay, between the green line, okay, and the red line. So what you are trying to find is this thing. Okay, and this will give you the center of the circle. Okay, so after you find the center of the circle, what should you do?
Use the equation that x minus.
So fast? I'm still short of one thing. Radius. So you need to find the radius of the circle. Okay, by finding either AC, distance AC, or distance BC. Okay, either one of them will tell you your radius. So with the radius, with the center, then you have your equation of circle. Okay, so this is the mental process, the algorithm in your mind. Okay, when you want to eventually find the equation of the circle, there's numerous steps you need to do before that. So if I give a mark for each step, this is 6. Okay, sometimes they give an extra mark here. So 7. So depends. Okay, so easily a 6-mark question when they ask you to find this. Okay, so now without me guiding you, can you follow through the 6 steps that we have just come up with and do question 2? F coordinate geometry and A math coordinate geometry is tested here. Huh?
You can find the gradient here, but then like, why is it not the same answer as like it?
This gradient? No, because this line is not a perpendicular bicycle. It could be like that. It's not the same line. It's another line somewhere else. So you cannot take that point to be there. Yeah.
No, I don't understand step 5.
Step 5, use the formula. Pick A, let's say it's 4, 4, and then compare it with your center. Use the formula to find.
Focus. Oh yeah, it passes through the...
Correct.
So to find the radius that I use, right, there is the g squared, that another one is square root g squared plus x squared minus c.
Square G square? What G square?
Square root g. What's the formula for radius?
X squared
This
plus
one?
y squared minus...
Difference of x square plus difference of y square, then you square root.
Minus the...
You take the difference of the two x coordinates square plus difference of the y coordinate square. Then you square root. It's Pythagoras theorem.
No, I was talking about the previous one.
Oh, that one is using the general, the expanded formula. Then you go and find. We don't have the formula, so cannot. Okay, so these are the main 6 steps. The formula for midpoint, for finding midpoint, for finding gradient, for finding perpendicular line. Okay, for finding equation, solving simultaneous, finding distance, and equation. So everything that you have learned earlier on appears here. So you can understand now why circles is taught in term 3. Because every other thing you have learned earlier in the year. Okay, so these exact same steps, can you replicate it for question 3? Okay, do that for question 3 now. Exact same step, just change the numbers only.
Yes, no, why does like AMF everything layers?
Yeah, so A math, the good thing is there's only one fixed way of solving. Like got template, you just plug in only. So if you remember the template, you can do.
But you cannot anyhow.
Even if you anyhow also you
They'll give us like x, like for P and computing, they give us
Yes, possible if they want. Then you need to sub in into the equation to find the y. Because when you have the equation of the circle, you can find anything. If you have the x value. Or if you have the y value, you can find the x. Yeah. So it depends on the unknown. Okay, replicate this entire 6 step. I'm just trying to show to you that this can work for all the questions. Can, wait. Let me just put them together. Okay, something like that, okay? Because the y values are the same. So actually this is a horizontal line. So what does this tell me about my gradient of my perpendicular bisector?
Vertical.
Yes, it's a vertical line. Yes? You go and calculate y2 minus y1, 0 already. So it tells me that my perpendicular bisector line is a vertical line, which is this line here. So what is so special about vertical line? The gradient is undefined, yes. But what else? The whole vertical line has this same what value? X value is the same. So it's subtly telling me that for G, the x value is 2. I just don't know what is the y value. So that vertical line tells me that G must have the x coordinate as 2. So this one tells me same x coordinate, okay, as the midpoint. So this whole thing, the only thing that stands out is this one. If you don't take this hint, then very difficult to carry on. Okay, next is, that means I can't really find the equation of this line is just x equals to 2 lah. So I don't even need to go and y equals to mx plus c. The equation of perpendicular bisector is just x equals to 2. Okay, next, I want to find G. G lies on this line.
Sub 2
Sub 2 where?
into that gradient.
So I need to go and find this in order to be able to find what is y, right? So they gave me this equation. What can I do with this equation?
You sub x equals 2 inside and then you get the equation.
I sub x equals to 2 inside. No, not meaningful for me to do that. Because this point is not on that line at all.
No, but it's going down.
But then I will end up finding this, which I don't want. So what I will do is I will manipulate this equation because I want to know what is the gradient of that line. So it will give me minus 1/5 x minus 59 over 5. So this is telling me that the gradient of this tangent line is minus 1/5. Then I flip. So by doing this, I know my gradient of this line is 5. So knowing the gradient of this red line now, I can find y already. Because gradient formula states that gradient of GQ is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And it should be equal to 5. So when you cross multiply, y minus 12 is 5. Is it 5 or minus 5? Wait, something is not right? Because I should get a negative 7. Minus 5. Minus 1/5 is correct. Oh, okay. There is a typo here that Q is negative 12. No wonder. So this one, there's a minus here that I miss out. Okay, in the diagram, can you add in the minus? So that's why here is a plus. Okay, when you bring over, 5 minus 12 is negative 7. So we have just proven that G is 2 negative 7. This is what the question wants me to show. So you can write shown. So this question deviates from the 6 steps we have because of the given info. So that's why it's a bit tougher. Okay, but after that we can jump back to the step 4, step 5, step 6 already. They give me 2, but they never give me that other line that pass through center. They give me the bottom line, which helps me get the gradient. Yeah. So I have center now. I want to find equation of circle. What should I find? Radius. So I go and find my radius of circle, which is the distance between here or the distance between here. You choose. I will choose the one that has less negative lah, so that I won't be careless. So between these 2 points, I want to find the radius. So difference between the x coordinate square, difference between the y coordinate square. So 5 square is 25, then again 26. Okay, so with my radius, with my center, equation of circle is out. Okay, so this question, the only hint you need to take is that the perpendicular bisector happens to be a vertical line. Okay, so to confirm everybody understands how to do this before I can move on to next chapter, can y'all go into Google Classroom, click on that one question, and then write your solution there. I just need to check whether you know. Yes. After I find the y equation, this one. Okay, so I know that the gradient of this gray line is minus 1/5. So the gradient of this gray line, which is this one, is minus 1/5, right? So the red line, which is perpendicular to it, will be gradient 5. This one okay? You negative and flip. So knowing the gradient, I just use gradient formula to help me. Gradient of GQ is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
We can just follow this already.
Yes, equal to 5. Then you just cross multiply and solve. So y is minus 7, no? Yeah. Okay. So I will sub in x as 3. And then I will prove that I get 2. So if I can prove that the y coordinate is 2, then I can conclude that the line passes through center. So this one is just an extension, but it's nothing very difficult. Just the method of solving. So if they say, can you prove to me that this line really passes through center? Although you already know it passes through, they want you to show. So just take the x coordinate of the center, sub it into the equation, and prove that the y is the same. Okay, that's all. Then finding the length of the chord is just finding distance. So this one also no problem. Okay, just finding distance.